It's a name everybody likes.
Tuna Vikes, we're back for 2025 season. Who knows how many times it will be, but it's this time for now. So as we get closer and closer to the season, we're here looking at the draft results that we just had this past Sunday. I'm here with Reed and Pizza
himself,
Nathan.
He's back.
Pizza.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, Richard?
We made it. We did a Tuna Buzz.
Yeah. We'll see how
Not
many
only
we
that,
do, right?
we made it a priority to get it out fast.
We'll see you guys at the end of the season.
We're not doing our post-draft show 3 weeks into the regular season. That's good.
There you go.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Sorry, Tuna Bites.
We can definitely. I think we can definitely go through the draft. We figure we can. CBS has this cool feature that allows you to sort by team, and then it shows you the per draft pick what everybody picked. So it's kind of nice. So I figure this year we can kind of go through and make any comments if we see anything that stands out as what we feel like was a little bit too far of a reach, or comment on the asterisks next to people's names or whatever,
Donald,
and go from there. So I guess let's start with Donald. He got the first asterisk, also the first pick. It was the same pick for both, with Ashton Genty. I wasn't surprised at all. Even if he was there to pick, I figured he was going to go Ashton Genty. How do you guys feel about that?
I think so.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's passing on Ashton Genty. He looks like the real deal.
Yeah.
Basically.
The Raiders, yeah. I mean, Pete Carroll wants his Marshawn Lynch 2.0. So, that was pretty obvious that was probably what he was gonna do anyways, even though he had an asterisk next to it. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be, Bumblebee Tuna draft without that kind of start.
No, Pete Carroll wants his Marshawn 2.0, and Ashton may not be as illustrious as Carson Steele was. All right. You remember him?
No.
I do. May he rest in peace.
What was that, last year or 2 years ago?
I think that was 2 years ago. It was before Kenneth Walker, or maybe like right as Kenneth Walker was a rookie.
Oh, my gosh.
Carson Steele was the next big thing, and
I don't remember that at all.
Oh, you're talking about Chris Carson.
Oh, Chris Carson. Who's Carson Steele?
The Chiefs. The white dude.
Okay. Chris Carson. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's right.
Yeah.
My bad. Get my names mixed up.
Don't worry. Yeah, Carson Steele did have his one moment where everyone's like, yeah, and then he was terrible. That was it.
Pete Carroll did do Charbonnet, right? He did draft Charbonnet.
Yeah, I think you did. I think you're right about that.
So,
yeah. We'll see how Genty's career goes.
Yeah, he's got a great opportunity for sure.
Ton of potential, a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, the only I guess the only path I see where it could be rough this year would just be because the Raiders are trying to rebuild their offensive line, and Genty, of course, is physical, but just that would be the only thing I could really see where maybe he doesn't meet expectations. I mean, Donald has Bijan, and remember, everybody was so upset because they expected more from Bijan's rookie year. But that was a little bit different. That was also, they were basically making him split carries. Genty's going to get all the work. I think it's just a matter of how improved the Raiders will be, but I'm sure he's going to be. I mean, he was about as safe and a good pick as Donald really could make there. So,
yeah, I agree. Well, when you look at Donald's keepers, being Joe Burrow, being Robinson, being Marvin Harrison Jr., and being Brock Bowers. Adding Genty to that, it's a powerful first five.
He's got a scary good team. I mean,
yeah.
And I don't know that he's going to pay enough attention in the regular season to actually go for it all. But starting out, he's got a really good team.
Yeah,
I mean, he didn't know when the draft was. He didn't know what time it was. He was asking questions the day of. He fell asleep. He's like, "Oh, sorry, guys." No, I mean, his team does look good. the only question mark I think he kind of has is his wide receivers. Marvin Harrison Jr. And I don't think it's his fault. I think it's mostly Kyler Murray's fault that he's not more successful. And then you've got Devonta Smith, who he took as his second pick, which is not a bad pick because that's a high octane offense.
Yeah.
But Devonta Smith is so boom or bust week to week that you don't know what you're going to get. So
Yeah, I'm looking at the wide receivers that came after Smith. It was Tedero McMillan. It was Ricky Pearsall. It was George Pickens, Rushy Rice. I say Rushy Rice, it's Rashi Rice, isn't it?
Rossi, yeah.
And then Jameson Williams, Calvin Ridley, Travis Hunter, which was a reach. Sure. And Buka, so go on, so on and so forth. Metcalf went just before Devonta Smith. If I could have gotten Devonta Smith with if I had Donald's roster with DK Metcalf along with it, that would have been amazing. But
yeah,
he didn't. That was just before was kind of a tough thing for him. So
right.
He followed that up with Brian Robinson Jr. I think at that point, in round 3, we were scraping the bottom of the barrel for any viable running backs at that point, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, think about this. I mean, I because we kept 4. We're doing this alternating system, so we had 4 keepers. Josh kept 3 running backs. A lot of teams kept 2. Yep. So, like Richard, like you and I were talking before because you were on the trade. I mean, you looked at the running backs. I mean, I looked at it and I was like, man, it's going to be a couple rounds and then it's going to get pretty ugly. So,
yeah. No doubt. Yeah. It's not pretty.
I was talking to Nathan a little bit beforehand, and when we get to my team, we can talk a little bit about Chuba. But yeah, we'll save it for then.
Yeah.
And then he followed it up with Bo Nix. And that was so confusing to me. And then Eagles, again more confusing. I'm not sure what his thought process was there, other than it's normal Donald.
Donald does it he does it every year. Him and Josh they're very much the same, one and the same. They love the quarterbacks and just having them on the roster. I think to look at them and
I mean, he had a second pick in the 3rd round that he got from Jonathan. So I guess he wanted to. It was a luxury pick. I guess he felt maybe.
Do you think they just look at their roster and they're like, nice quarterback, pretty quarterback? It's got to be something weird. I don't understand why you have that many quarterbacks, man.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I will give him credit. I mean, he did trade one of his 3 last year with Jonathan. When Jonathan traded for Jordan Love, and that was about. I mean, and that would make sense. Okay, fine, if you're going to do that, but typically they don't trade with them, and sometimes it's not because people don't want to trade with them; they just don't trade them. But
yeah,
for
sure. Other than that, I mean, I don't think he did anything outlandish other than the extra quarterbacks
and the extra defense,
and an extra. Yeah, that was weird, but
I think he got good. Just remembering back in the draft, I think he got good value as Zay Flowers because Zay Flowers fell.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at him and I was like, wow, he's really, so I just, Zay Flowers, I mean, even though we kind of know what player Zay Flowers is, I mean, he's had games with Lamar where it's like sometimes he's getting 2 touchdown games, so he can be a good player with that offense. So, I mean, I think that was probably a good value pick for Donald there.
No doubt.
Yeah. Yep.
No doubt.
I agree. All right, let's move on to Aaron.
Aaron, actually, I'm going to say this. Aaron is kind of back to an old form, Aaron, where he used to draft with his brain and not with his heart and his gut. Because, I mean, Zamir White is still fresh on all of our minds. Oof. But, I mean, I'm pretty proud of Aaron for his draft this year. It was good.
The only question I have is Joe Mixon and how close he is to actually playing.
Yeah, I agree. Joe Mixon is still not practicing. He's still hurt. So it's looking like Chubb and Dameon Pierce are going to be the running backs to start the season. So, I mean, yeah, be interesting.
Yeah,
And
I didn't like Mixon. That was the one pick that Aaron did that I don't in general like Mixon, mainly just because like what you Nathan just said, just the injury and that whole and what you said, Richard, just with the injury,
yeah,
and him not starting the season, and then the Texans have like reworked their offensive line, like that might not be, so there's just a lot of question marks. And so when he made that pick, I just remember thinking, man, there were a lot of other great players. At least I would have picked.
yeah.
Now, if Mixon somehow, comes back and he's healthy, and they were just not saying anything, then it could be an awesome pick. But yeah, I didn't. That was the one I didn't like. I liked a lot of things Aaron did in his draft, like Nathan was talking about, but I just didn't like that.
Still has Caleb Johnson and Travis Etienne, which it sounds
Yep.
like Etienne's not a guaranteed thing in Jacksonville anymore either. But
Yep.
he's got options, so it's not like it makes or break his team completely. And he got Jonathan Taylor.
I know who picked Bigsby for that exact reason.
Yeah. My Bigsby experiment was last year, so I'm out on that. I was so sure he was going to take off and take the job, and then it was
he was better than ETN last year. So as far as yards per carry,
So he got some good quarterbacks.
Yeah, just to refresh on his keepers, it was Brian Thomas Jr., it was DJ Moore, and then he went Etienne and Deebo Samuel. From a keeper perspective, I was surprised about Samuel, but to be honest, I don't remember the rest of his team to know if that was kind of like in my situation where I had to keep Olave, of like, well, that's really my fourth best player. So,
yeah.
Other than that, he basically went running back to kind of make up for the ETN and that kind of thing. So hopefully, maybe he gets to hit on Caleb Johnson, Jonathan Taylor. That's his main guy. I'm sure. So I think he drafted according to what he needed, which is great. I mean, for him, I think it was what he needed to do.
Well, if you think about it, since he had to keep all those receivers and ETN is a question mark, going back and just making sure running back, because Aaron,
absolutely,
Zamir White and all that happened last year, running back was really bad for Aaron. So, I mean, for him to do that, and then I was not going to take David Njoku that early, but David Njoku, as far as what was left tight end wise, and with now Joe Flacco being the starter, I mean, Njoku could be awesome. So
now he picked Njoku over Laporta, didn't he?
Yeah,
I'm looking back right now. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah,
because I passed on Laporta.
I was surprised. That happened, but I understand the hesitancy with Laporta, since Laporta was kind of a dud last year, which was following his rookie year. So, so I get that.
Enjoy that. Didn't enjoy that experience, Richard.
I love that. I love that he had three wide receivers. He went 3 running backs to have 4 running backs to have two, essentially, and then he went straight, tight end quarterback to fill out his roster. I thought that was great. I wouldn't have done it different. And Dak Prescott being the quarterback, I think is if he's healthy, it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah. Going back to Mixon just for a second, I'm looking at the whole draft on my computer, and he took Mixon. He had Isaiah Pacheco that went afterwards. Aaron Jones went afterwards. David Montgomery went afterwards. Cam Scatterbo, Tony Pollard, Brian Robinson Jr. So, I mean, there were quite a few running backs that he could have chosen over Joe Mixon, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I mean,
now was that a CBS ADP issue where he just picked the highest ADP, maybe, or
maybe
ranked running back?
It's possible, because David Montgomery is actually ranked ahead of Joe Mixon. According to this, it says Montgomery is the number 21 running back, and Mixon's number 23.
Okay.
So I don't know what made Aaron pick Mixon, but early on in the draft, he had sent a text out and asked me and Reed. He's like, "Who should I take over? First overall?" And I really didn't want to give him fantasy advice for the draft. So I was very vague. I was like, well, this guy, and then you got this guy, and so he went with Taylor, but which is the right choice.
Yeah. Definitely the right choice.
Yeah.
Unless he wanted to have a young. I mean, Jonathan Taylor's pretty young, so
Yeah,
he could have gone Omari Hampton if he wanted to for a rookie.
he did mention. I think he mentioned Hampton.
Yeah,
but I wasn't about to pump up Hampton for him. I was trying to hope he fell. Y'all bunch of greedy people.
everybody knew.
Everybody
knew it wasn't going to
read
pass
any
6.
articles, did any research at all. They knew he was going to be good.
Yeah.
All right.
So one more thing about Mixon is I was looking at Mixon in my where I, I was after he picking Mixon. It was going to be a debate if David Montgomery wasn't there, who to pick up for a second running back, and so I'm kind of glad Mixon he took Mixon before I could.
Yeah,
because that was
Montgomery is a good pick for you.
But anyway, all right, Aaron, good job. I think is what we're saying here.
Good job.
All right, let's go to PC.
PC.
I
loved his first pick.
Yeah.
And he loved his first pick because he didn't take much time picking him. So, Lad McConkey's should be a really good wide receiver this year.
Yeah.
So, good for him.
Yeah, were you guys surprised that Bruce didn't keep Lad? Or, I mean, I know some people had to make hard decisions, but, I mean, were you surprised? Or
I was a little surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little surprised.
Yeah, I was too. I was. So I saw it, and I was like, if PC. So this was like in my mind. I'm like, okay, if it just goes 3 running backs, Hampton gets taken ahead of me. I'm like, I might just take Glad as my fourth receiver just because like he's so good. I'm like, he was there. I that was something I was thinking about. I'm like, because I didn't know PC could have he could have done another running back. So I was. I assumed he was going to take Lad, and he did. But I was like, well, what if it goes Hampton in like number 3, and then I'm like, man, I was going to have a tough choice just because Lad's so good, and we got Justin Herbert thrown to him. So,
yeah,
that
was a good choice. And then following it up with Tedero McMillan.
Yeah,
awesome, great job.
If he ends up being what everybody thinks he's going to be.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's still Carolina. That was my only thing because I did research on this guy, and I was very unsure about how I felt about him if he was available to me because I just didn't know. It's still Carolina. It's still the quarterback situation. Yeah, he had a good. Bryce Young had a good ending, but it's like, is he going to carry that momentum into this season? We'll see. But if he ends up meets his expectations, then I think it's a great pick.
Yeah. And then he followed that up with Aaron Jones in the same round pick that he got from Jonathan. Well, I don't know if he got it from Jonathan, but it's Jonathan's pick.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones, what do you guys think about Aaron Jones going in the second round, kind of in the back half? Do you think that's a good spot for him where he went?
Yeah.
I mean, he was kind of around that range of running backs. I mean, the big question for Aaron Jones is just age wise, is he going to hold up? I mean, he's definitely had his injuries. I mean, he may, probably where he'll be really good if he stays healthy is going to be, running, pass catching, check down for JJ McCarthy. They brought in Jordan Mason, obviously, to kind of be more of a hammer.
Yeah.
So I mean, for PPR, if he stays healthy, that's going to be a great back for PC. So
yeah.
And just to refresh, his keepers were Bucky Irving, Mike Evans, Trey McBride, and do you remember Swift? DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift, excuse me.
DeAndre Swift.
So 3 running backs kind of ready to go for him, with Bucky probably being his mainstay, and then Aaron Jones and Swift kind of maybe coming in and out as needed. Is probably the way I expect his team to go on that. And then Mike Evans, Lad McConkey is quite and then McMillan being a flex is quite the trio, which is pretty nice. If Tedero McMillan hits, that'll be a nice setup for sure.
Yeah, on paper, he should have a great receiving core.
Yeah. I mean, Khalil Shakur was great last year. I had him in a separate league, and he was awesome. And then Luther Burden, I mean, he's deep into that roster. I mean, he's
Yeah.
in the pecking order. He's not going to be the number one guy. So it's just I'm interested to see what happens with him. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if he breaks out or anything like that, I mean, PC could have an absolute killer wide receiver core.
Yeah. And apparently PC really likes Drake May because he went way sooner than other quarterbacks that were
I was
available.
looking at that. He took him over Jordan Mason, Dak Prescott, CJ Stroud. So I mean, yeah, I'm Justin Fields. Well, that's not too surprising. Justin Fields isn't. So, yeah, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, there's some Cam Ward. I like Drake May. I think he'll be fine, but I don't know that for fantasy purposes, was he really that good last year?
Well, I think the reason there because his running ability, he runs. So
oh yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's kind of they bump him up. I like Drake May. He was a guy that I was targeting later. I just didn't think he was going to go that early. So I was like,
that's kind of what I'm thinking. I think he could have gotten him later, but maybe, I mean, if you were thinking later too, maybe he just wanted to lock it in.
The big question for May, I mean, everyone says take a next step, but it's also, do they have enough pieces around him that, he's going to be able to take that next step? Because obviously New England's been trying to get more weapons around him. And so it's just a matter of what his supporting cast and, but yeah, he can run too. That's kind of an underrated part of his game. But
yeah.
So. All right, let's go on to a guy named Reed's team and how he did. Reed, why don't you refresh us on who your keepers were real quick?
So my keepers were Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and then Devon Achane.
Pretty good setup.
Yeah.
And then you went Omarion Hampton in the first round, followed by Isaiah Pacheco. How do you feel about the Isaiah Pacheco pick?
It's funny. I knew because I only had one running back and I had three receivers, and I was looking at the running backs and I was like, man, after whatever running back I probably am going to pick in the first round, which I was glad it was Hampton. I was like, there's so many good receivers. I was torn because there was guys I would take in the second round, but I was like, man, I really felt I was terrible at running back last year outside of Devon Achane. So I felt like I really wanted to get a lot of depth at running back as much as I could. And Pacheco was not really a guy I was thinking about. But then when I was just, reading more and stuff like that, and they were just basically saying he's really healthy and they really haven't added anything that I'm really concerned about. And they say he looks great. And I just thought, coming into last season, he'd come off a really great year. And so obviously he's got to stay healthy, but I don't really feel like the other backs they have are really going to be that big of a threat to him. They got Kareem Hunt, who's past his time. They drafted, I think, a 7th rounder who's like just a pass catching back. So I just, for me, it was just kind of like, he's probably somebody being overlooked because he got hurt last year. And then remember, he came back and he looked terrible because he probably came back too early. He had a pretty bad injury. So I wasn't planning to draft him originally, but before the draft, I was kind of reading up about him and I was like, you know what? I was like, I think I'll maybe take him if other guys weren't there that I was looking at. So I just, I decided to do that. We'll see how it works out because there was a lot of other receivers that I really liked, but I felt like I needed to get more depth at running back, and that was my 3rd running back. So, we'll see.
Yeah, I actually like the Pacheco pick. There's nobody's really talking about him because of his injury, and so I think they're also talking about Kareem Hunt still being there. He was a little bit of a factor last year, but not a huge factor. So it's just interesting. I still think he's the guy as long as he's healthy. That's the biggest thing. So
yeah, the Chiefs over the last couple of years, because of their defense, they haven't needed to score so much, but it kind of feels like they want to this year. I don't know if they get that sense as well. I'm kind of curious what that'll turn into. If that'll be more longer throws or something like that. I don't know, but I'm curious how the Chiefs are going to handle this year because I think definitely the Super Bowl kind of exposed their weaknesses, right, with the loss to Philadelphia, to where I think they're going to have to. My guess is they're going to have to change it up a little bit maybe go back to the old ways.
Yeah. Then you went back to back, Reed, with the rookies. I'm mad at you for taking Egbuka because I mean he would have been gone. It sounds like from other people, but he was if he was going to be there in the fifth, I was taking him for sure. That was like I'd already decided in my mind. But you took him, and I think especially now with Godwin being out for the first 5 or 6 weeks, which is still likely, even though he's coming off the pup. You're looking at Ibuka getting a lot of target share early on, getting in rhythm with Baker, and then Tyler Warren. Great news for him. It's not Anthony Richardson, so great news for him. He's got Daniel Jones, but we'll see. Daniel Jones is still Daniel Jones, so we'll see if he actually gets him some targets or not. But
yeah,
that's not bad. That's not bad. I think those are two highly sought after rookies. So you definitely snagged them.
Well, CBS is going to rake me over the coals when they do the report because I took Tyler Warren over Sam Laporta because I just couldn't do Sam Laporta again, and I really wanted Warren. So I was like, I don't care. I did Laporta. I was like, I want Warren, and I just.
And you had a little bit of a luxury with having 3 picks in the 4th round, right? So
right.
You skipped the 3rd round, so your 4-4 was really your 3rd pick.
Yeah.
And then you had two.
Richard, I do have to tell you because you're a Jags fan.
Yeah.
I was. Because I personally I think he's going to be really good, but I was tempted to take Travis Hunter in the 2nd round.
Oh, were you?
I was just because everybody's kind of not sure, but I mean basically Liam Cohen has basically said he's going to play at least 80% of offensive snaps.
Yeah,
and so I think with him and Brian Thomas Jr. I mean they were talking about Travis Hunter being as just a receiver on par with Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison Jr. and that group last year. So I just think he, now we'll see because he's, if he plays both, is he going to stay healthy? I know that's kind of a question, but I was just really like, man, but when I passed on him, I knew he would get drafted, and I think Daryl took him. But once he got taken, then I was like, okay, I'm going to take Egbuka no matter like if he's there still, I'm definitely going to take him. So, but so I'm excited about that. But
yeah, it did. Man, I have lots of thoughts about Travis Hunter. However, the main thought is at some point before the season, I'm going to get his jersey because I'm that excited about him. But I was saving it until we got to Daryl, but I'll talk about Travis Hunter now. What I'm excited about is when you listen to his coaches, they all say the same thing, which is he just has so much energy. And so the concerns of like him going both ways just doesn't bother me because I feel like it's not going to be a problem. I think in the NFL, they're going to manage his reps really well to where he's not going to be the number 1 wide receiver. And so therefore he being number 2 or maybe even a third, number 3 in a 3-wider set instead of a 2-wide receiver set allows him to do that the defensive side. I think it's going to be good. And he could separate, he can get the ball. The biggest question is, will Trevor Lawrence actually live up to the hype that he was drafted? And this is the year, this is like put up or shut up with Trevor Lawrence this year, in my opinion. If he can't deliver, I think he's going to lose Jags fans in a big way, and we're going to be talking new quarterback. So,
well, if he doesn't put up, Richard, then I'm going to also lose.
he is your number 1 QB. However, you did JJ McCarthy at the same time, so you're kind of hitting. You're shooting a double barrel shotgun there, hoping that something
one of
hits.
them hits. Yeah.
Well,
you'll see. We'll see. I mean, Reed is always that guy that usually waits on a quarterback. Although he did have Lamar that one year, wasn't a great year for Reed that year.
And then you reached for Tootin, and that was like, what? That's not cool.
He's a dark horse. He's a dark horse on the Jags. There's a lot of talk about Tootin.
But it was a reach. My issue is that it was in the 9th round. Like, no, he was supposed to be there for me in the 11th. Like, come on.
I mean, look at the rest of his picks. He took Kyle Pitts, 49ers, and Cameron Dicker. I mean, he obviously was okay with reaching.
Richard, I'm going to tell you this. So this is true story. So because PC was picking in front of me like all the time, And he accidentally, I was actually gonna select Braylon Allen, and then accidentally PC was like, didn't necessarily mean to pick him. It kind of went to auto pick. And so then guess who was pretty much at the top? It was Tootin. And so I was like, you know what? We don't know what this Jacksonville Jaguars backfield is going to be. And you kept talking about him, Richard.
No, you're 100% right.
You kept talking about him. And I was like, all right, no, sure.
Yeah, Tootin.
Yeah. No,
and Reed, I like that you took Kyle Pitts because I was wondering who's going to take Kyle Pitts after all the letdowns. But, I mean, I think that's smart because you're taking Tyler Warren, and if the rookie doesn't pan out, then you have a backup. But,
I felt like this was the best year to take him because – he's at the end of the draft. I can just drop him. I don't feel like, the heartache, I was like.
Yeah, you picked him just before I was going to, Reed, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
how much of it is him and how much of it is Atlanta?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's mostly Atlanta. I don't think it's him.
Yeah. Although, Nathan, we're going to talk about your pick, but there's a pick you made that I also like that I was looking at. So, but I won't jump ahead.
All
right. Let's move on to Josh.
Josh got that Xavier Worthy pick off real quick.
Yeah, he did.
Well, not quick.
That was a surprise.
That was a surprise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, what?
He's
on a good offense.
Super happy. I was well, I knew he was going to go wide receiver, but I was super happy he didn't do another running back.
No, he had to. I mean, he had to do that.
Yeah.
I was surprised also that it was Worthy.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of other choices out there that were viable and good. And he just ignored them. Now, one thing I am mad at him about is he took Pearsall so early.
I know.
I had him on my radar, man. He should have been there for a while longer.
I know.
I don't know.
2 receivers.
I think he's been going up and up, it seems, right?
Yeah. He's been jumping up just because all the injuries they have.
Yeah. I mean, he's the healthiest wide receiver, is he not?
Yeah.
So, kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
So
true. That.
Yeah, it's so bad for the Niners. They just traded for Sky Moore. So
I saw that.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is for the 49ers.
I heard a stat.
I was like, Sky Moore. Oh, yeah, that guy. I guess he's on the Chiefs.
Do you know how many catches Sky Moore had last year, all season?
20?
0. You know how many targets he had? 3.
Wow.
I just remember when Kansas City drafted him, they're like, "Oh, this guy, he's going to be the next great, for Patrick Mahomes." And he was a dud.
It did not work.
Yeah,
dud.
But yeah. So I mean, if the Kansas City Chiefs air it out more, I mean, Worthy's probably the guy, right?
Well,
he's got the stack with Patrick Mahomes. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good for him.
So it'll be interesting for sure with Ricky Pearsall being there as well. I'm curious how his team go. We talked about him keeping 3 running backs. He kept Kamara, Breece Hall, James Cook, and then his 4th was, I'm looking through his team to try to remember.
It was Purdy.
And Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy was a surprise for me.
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember all his
quarterbacks
again. Some people, I don't know what his other options were. I don't remember, but
Yeah, you're right. It's one of those things.
Yeah. So. Anything else stick out to you guys about Josh's draft?
No, I think he picked Hawkinson perfectly with my pick. Or no, it's with his pick, excuse me. My pick.
He had strong conviction about that. That was 7 seconds.
Yeah.
But
that was the pick that I traded him. Yeah. That's my pick that he used that whip for. So
he didn't wait for that.
Yeah, Richard.
To be fair, he went back to back, so that's why.
Yeah.
I mean, for 2 picks, he spent less than a minute to do it. So.
Yeah, Richard, I had to go back when we set up the draft, and I saw Josh was back to back. I was like, wait, Josh doesn't trade. I'm like, who did he trade with? And I saw it was with you. I was like, oh, he traded with Richard.
Yeah. Yep. I can't remember what we traded. I think I was trying to get some draft capital back, if I remember correctly. Or maybe I was still in the hunt. I can't remember. The only reason I did the trade with you last year was to get draft capital back. So at some point, you kind of just have to cut your losses and do what you can.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of, why don't we go? Do you guys have anything else you want to comment? We mentioned it earlier. He has three
just
QBs.
yeah, 3 quarterbacks. Otherwise, there's not really much else. It was a Josh draft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good way to say it.
All right, we'll go to mine.
The Gunslingers.
And let me just recap my keepers. I had who did I have? I forgot already. I haven't really been paying attention as much this year. Oh yeah, Jaden Daniels is like the only player. If anybody asked me to trade, he was the only one I wasn't willing to trade. Just now for everybody to hear that for the first time. But I kept him, George Kittle. I kept Puka Nakua, and then Chris Olave. So as far as the first pick, Chuba Hubbard, it wasn't the top 3 that I was kind of going for, but the more and more that I kind of like look into Chuba Hubbard and that kind of thing, I think I'm really excited about the future with that team and with him being the running back. I think it's going to be a solid. I'm very optimistic that it's going to be a solid season for him. So I can't be happier with that. And then David Montgomery as a second running back. At that point, I think a lot of running backs were already kept and taken. So having him as a second running back, I was actually pretty happy. And then having another Detroit person, but Jameson Williams, getting him back on my team, I was pretty excited. I couldn't believe that Waddle was still there in round 4. And maybe people know something I don't.
Waddle fell quite a bit. I think it was just because all the Tua injuries last year there was just weeks where their backups were never touching Waddle. And so I think people were just scared, but if Tua stays healthy, it was like feasting between, Hill and Waddle. So I think it's one of those, it's like high risk, high reward kind of picks. But I mean, you got great value with them being in the 4th, because I think that he probably should have got off the board in the 3rd.
Yeah, and Judy being there in the 5th was surprising to me as well. I feel like I got a ton of value this draft, to be honest.
Yeah, I think Richard. One of my favorite picks that you did was Jameson Williams. I know you had him last year, but I mean they're talking like he's this might be his full breakout season, just because of with him. So I mean he definitely popped last year. So I mean he could, if he takes that next step, I mean it could be a big season for him. So
yeah, I really like that pick as well, Richard. I kind of told you that in the beginning when we were talking about it before we got on here. I mean, he's got a ton of potential. Could be a top 5 wide receiver this year.
Yeah,
just depends, obviously.
And also, Richard, I think Chuba. I think it was funny. I looked at him too because I thought, well, what if it just becomes running back heavy? And I think it's a good pick. Chuba to me is like one of those running backs we always have one, like every year, at least one, maybe 2, where it's like nobody's really excited about them because maybe they don't have the ceiling of being like a top 5 fantasy running back, but they're like in a great situation and they're just solid. Like they're a good running back. And I've been, there's been years where I've passed on guys like that, and I'm like, man, I should have just taken that guy. They're solid or good, So I think it's a good pick. I mean, the Panthers have a good offensive line. Nobody really talks about that. They have a good offensive line, and they paid him. They gave him that big contract. So I mean, he's their guy. So
and this year, I'll tell you, I approached the draft differently than previous years. This year, I was very much like just trying to get the best value the entire time, rather than trying to target specific people, players, or like specific upside or downside or buying the hype. Like I was just trying to like find the value everywhere. And I feel like it just worked really nicely.
Yeah, you definitely did.
So
definitely did.
And I took I mentioned it before, Tank in the 7th round. I felt like I had to take him there or else I wouldn't get him. I don't know if that's a reach in y'all's mind, but I really do think Tank's going to take the starting role. Just because he was better than Etienne last year. And Etienne even admitted that he wasn't that good last year. And I haven't heard the coaches say anything good about him. So it's kind of one of those things where when you listen to the beat reporters of the Jags, it's, positive things about Tank, and that's about it. So as far as between the two.
Yeah.
But Tootin, they're saying good things too, and Tootin was drafted by this new regime. So yeah.
That's true.
And then I got my one. I got Jaden Higgins, my one rookie. So I could be part of the rookie club.
There you go.
I was feeling FOMO at that point.
I think your best pick overall, though, Richard's got to be Cam Little. Kicker what makes the team in our league.
I told you I drafted him. Somebody said, "Who's going to pick him?" And I said, "I'll do it." And I waited.
You did.
All right. Why don't we talk to who wants to? Let me look up Dwayne's team real quick and remember what his keepers were.
And I couldn't really Dwayne. I couldn't figure Dwayne out this draft. Like usually I can kind of track with Dwayne in the draft, and all his picks. Like it was just like I really couldn't. I was just like, wow, this is just different. It felt different than his past drafts.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know what his mindset was. I kind of agree. Like Chris I was surprised he picked Chris Godwin.
Yeah, that threw me for a loop. That was just weird.
I think they activated him from the PUP recently, didn't they?
They did, yeah. Yeah, they did yesterday, or maybe it was today. But he's coming back, I think, instead of, I think he's going to cut like a week 5 return, I think is what they're saying now.
Yeah.
So he'll be able to start practicing and stuff, which is great news for Dwayne because at the time that was not the case. And I was like, what is Dwayne doing? Like this guy's out for, 6 weeks guaranteed. And then he's going to have to get up to speed after he comes back, which he still is. I mean, even if he comes back in week 5, it's still going to take him several weeks to get up to speed. And so, I mean, I do think that it's kind of a strange first pick, seeing as, I mean, you go back and look at the draft, there were several, like, really good wide receivers. I don't know if Dwayne just has, like, something for Chris Godwin, but, I mean, here's who went after. Cortland Sutton, Garrett Wilson, DK Metcalf, Devonta Smith, McMillan, Pearsall, Pickens, Rashee Rice. So, I mean, Jameson Williams. I mean, so Calvin Ridley, Travis Hunter. You go through, I mean, there's probably 6 or 7 guys I'm taking before I take Chris Godwin. So, I don't know.
I was shocked. I mean, I guess maybe he had the like memories of before he got hurt where he was like one of the best fantasy receivers and Baker was just, targeting him all the time. But I mean, like Nathan said, I mean, and I've done this before, Jonathan Brooks last year. And I always find myself making this mistake where, you get a guy who's starting the year hurt and because you're like, oh, he can be awesome. But then, like Nathan was saying, sometimes it can take a while for them to get back to form. And so that for a first round pick. I mean, I knew he would obviously there's a place to draft him. It was just kind of weird right there at the beginning of the first. So
yeah. And then his second pick, Travis Kelce, which I'm off the Travis Kelce train. I think he's old and washed up. I mean, if Dwayne was drafting in 2019, he would have been having a fantastic draft.
I think Dwayne is secretly a Swiftie.
Yeah, maybe.
I think so. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Just to recap, he kept 2 running backs and 2 wide receivers. So I mean, at that point, he had a Chris Godwin, and then he had tight end is a natural selection there.
Yeah.
But here's what I would ask him. This is what is surprising. He had DK Metcalf, who he didn't keep, and then to me, I mean, listen, I say whatever you want. Aaron Rodgers at the end of his career, but the only guy to throw to is DK Metcalf, and Rodgers just hyper targets the main guy. Yeah. So to me, it's like DK was kind of an easy.
Yeah. I mean, you could look at last year. Garrett Wilson wasn't bad, right?
Yeah. Garrett Wilson, DK Metcalf. I mean, there's guys right there, and maybe it was it could have been a panic pick. It could have been hey, maybe he was planning on McConkey to be there. And then McConkey wasn't there, so he's like, shoot, I got to pick somebody.
And Josh took Xavier Worthy. Maybe he was, who knows? Maybe he was,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was coming back from getting off work or something. So.
Yeah, he was. So
is
I don't know.
rushing.
I mean, but maybe he just has he's like, hey, he's coming back early. I don't trust what these guys say. He's going to be awesome, and maybe that's the case. But
And for
who
those at home,
knows?
he kept Derrick Henry, Kyron Williams, Adams, and Tyreek Hill. So
Okay, yeah. I mean,
he's got a solid four.
yeah,
And then Kelsey followed up and eventually got Tua or Justin Fields and Tua as the QBs.
yeah. Not too bad.
Justin
Not too bad.
Fields was an interesting pick too. And Keenan Allen going so soon as well. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting things that happened with the
Yeah, he
team
picked a
as
lot of
spring, so
guys early. I
he
don't
did
know.
the opposite of me.
Yeah. Felt like he was going for like names and stuff like that. These are all high power offenses, which is a smart strategy if you're going to draft and reach for somebody. But it's just like Keenan Allen. How much has he got left in the tank? You got Chris Godwin, like hurt. Travis Kelsey, he struggled a lot last year. Like, I
Javante.
don't know. Yeah. Javante Williams, like,
How long is Tracy going to keep his job?
right.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
All right. Moving on to Jonathan. He had a first round, then he had to wait till the third round to get the next pick for himself. First round, he got Cortland Sutton. Seems like a reasonable pick for him. Let me pull up his keepers so we can be enlightened a little bit. He had Christian McCaffrey. He kept Justin Jefferson, Mark Andrews, and
It was McLaurin, because me and him talked about that.
McLaurin.
Yeah.
Terry.
Yeah.
So I mean, Sutton is a safe pick if you like him. I mean, like I said, you still had Garrett Wilson, you still had DK Metcalf, you still had McMillan, Pearsall, Pickens. I mean, I like Sutton, but I don't know if I like Sutton that much. Just me personally. But it's not crazy. I mean, he's ranked number 22 for the wide receiver. So I mean, that's not as crazy as like Xavier Worthy or Chris Godwin or anything like that. I just don't really like Cortland Sutton.
I feel like Sutton is similar to Chuba, kind of that guy that like nobody gets super excited, but I mean he produces. I mean they did pay him now, so I mean
that's true.
He is the number one, and I mean if Bo Nix is as good or better, right, than last year, the way he was starting to play, I mean it could be a great pick, but I mean it's hard. There's a lot of good receivers. Like I said, it was. I mean, when I was looking at the the draft, and I was like, man, if somebody needs receivers, there's some really good ones in the first, really good ones in the first couple of rounds. So,
right.
Yeah. If only I had one running back, I would have been able to do that. But because I saw that too, I'm like, man, I wish I had the luxury.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I mean, the commentary coming from Jonathan's side of things was he was trying to find running backs.
That it was.
I enjoyed his commentary.
Yeah.
He said he picked Baker. He said I'm picking with my heart, and I mean I love Baker too, and everything. So, but obviously being a Bucks fan, and I mean last year was a career year. I mean, but of course now his weapons they all got to stay healthy. But I mean Baker. I mean, man, that offense, as long as they're not all beat up and hurt, Baker should at least, still be a great quarterback. So,
yeah, I agree. I think Baker, definitely there's a drop off after like the first three top quarterbacks, but 3 or 4. But I mean, Baker's right up there right after that. So I mean, I think that's a safe quarterback for your fantasy team. I had him as my backup last year. And I loved having him as my backup last year because, I mean, shoot, there was a couple weeks I played Baker over Josh Allen. Like, there was a couple games where I'm like, I'm putting Baker in. Like, he's got the matchup. He's putting up the points. So, I mean, I don't think there's anything that he needs to be worried about with Baker. Now,
my only comment towards Baker my only comment towards Baker, real quick, is that out of this entire league, there are 10 Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans, and I knew that Baker was not going to be available where I would want to pick him as a second QB.
Yeah, that's fair.
It did not surprise me that he went in the second round
Nope.
to anybody that was a Buccaneer fan.
Well, yeah, it was. Well, and Richard, it's the temptation. I mean, there was Mayfield, Baker, there was Mahomes, there was some of those guys that are capable. I mean, obviously Baker last year was awesome, and Mahomes, at least in the past, can be one of the top guys. So I there's that temptation with those quarterbacks, but part of it is what you're saying. I'm not willing to, depends on what round I'm willing to, because you spend a pick on that quarterback. Who else are you passing up?
Yeah.
That you.
Yeah. Who did he pass up when it was his turn in the round 3?
Well, I think I remember saying there was no running backs he wanted, and that's I think why he ended up just going and taking Baker, because he was commenting about, man, all these running backs in the first round were all being taken. He took Sutton, and then that's right, and then he didn't have a second round. So I think by the time with all the second round, he got to the third, and I think that's when he was just like, well, I'm gonna take Baker. So
yeah. He's got 7 running backs on his roster. I just looked. And outside of Christian McCaffrey, they're all trash. I know he's collecting them. I mean, he was trying to get guys, but I mean,
one is the surefire backup to Christian McCaffrey, so he locked that guy in.
Yeah. I mean, listen, he had to do what he had to do, but like Jalen Wright just got hurt for Miami yesterday, so that sucks. Like he's in the trenches with running back.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he does have to start. Jerome Ford, I mean, to start the season is pretty much to be the guy. So he'll at least have, him to start. And if I have no idea what's going to happen with Judkins.
Right. If that all goes away and they get Judkins, I mean, that's a great pickup. But
man, can you imagine if Quinshawn Judkins was not a knucklehead? I could have gotten Amari in Hampton.
Yeah.
What you guys think about that?
I'll look for the trade offer later. I know you took Hampton as your first, but you want to trade him?
Oh, I'm not offering any trades. I'm satisfied with my team until I'm not.
Until you're not.
All right, Mr. Pizza, Nathan. Why don't you talk through your draft here a little bit? Enlighten us your thought process.
Yeah. So I was drafting at the 9th position. I knew there was going to be certain guys that I wanted that I was not going to be able to get strictly because I knew that other people were going to take them. Like Hampton, I was interested in Hampton, but I knew he wasn't going to be there. I was torn between my first pick between Henderson and Harvey because I know Sean Payton likes to run his running backs pretty well. Harvey's had some really good reports in camp, but the hype train on Henderson was full steam ahead when our draft happened. He had just run that touchdown in on the Bengals and, or not the Bengals. I can't remember who it was, but anyway, he's looking the part. Ramondre is just a guy. He has been for several years. Yes, they paid him, so I think he's still going to be a factor. But they love throwing to the running backs to this day, and I think that they'll throw a lot to Henderson and rely on him. So I like that. I like having a guy like that. So I have Gibbs already, so I was like, I need somebody that I can rely on. So that's why I took him. And I feel good about it. Yes, it's possible that he gets a smaller workload, but that's why, I went back and made sure I got Ramondre just to kind of lock up that backfield.
Hedge your bet a little bit.
Yeah. Play it safe, just in case something happens where the rookie doesn't work out. I was thrilled with my next 2 picks. I'm not going to lie. George Pickens and Calvin Ridley. Ward and Ridley have been connecting nonstop this preseason. And so that's given me a lot of hope for him. And then Pickens is kind of, I'm not upset about it by any means. I, I guess I shouldn't say upset, but my take on Pickens is that he's going to be playing on He's going to be playing on an offense with probably the best quarterback he's ever had. The CD is going to get covered a lot, and so that might give Pickens some more opportunities. The Cowboys' defense is going to kind of suck, so they're going to be throwing a lot. So, I'm all in on the Cowboys offense this year just because I think they're going to be throwing it a ton. Um, you know, obviously, if you have CD Lamb or Dak Prescott, you're also going to benefit as well. So, I was thrilled. I mean, with the guys I already have at wide receiver to get George Pickens and Calvin Ridley. I mean, I was pretty excited about both those guys. But yeah, I got Ramondre to lock up the backfield in New England.
Remind us of your keepers.
My keepers are Josh Allen, Jameer Gibbs, AJ Brown, and Nico Collins.
Okay.
So,
Nice. So yeah,
had some flexibility, but needed.
I loved Pickens for you. I wanted
Thank
Pickens
you.
too. I really wanted
Yeah.
Pickens too, but not in the second round. I wanted to get him in the third round.
Yeah. Well, I actually was looking at McMillan. My decision was going to be between Pickens and McMillan, and obviously PC got McMillan before I could get to him. So that's why I kind of locked in for sure. I was like, all right, I'm taking Pickens. And I'm happy with it. I'm happy with my wide receivers. I think I've got a good core. I'm not really upset about that at all. Evan Ingram, we'll see. He had an awesome catch in the preseason game. I've been hearing good reports about him in Denver. But he's also an older tight end, and he gets injured a lot. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see how that works out. We'll see how that works out. JK, obviously, they paid him a lot of money to come in and be the running back for Denver. RJ Harvey might take him over within the first few weeks. Maybe not. Maybe Dobbins gets hurt. We'll see. So, but yeah, after that, I just kind of picked guys that I liked or, looking at value, seeing who I can get. And, overall, I feel pretty good about my draft. I think my bench players could be a little better, but, I think there's a lot of upside guys there.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I love the whole sequence, Pickens and Calvin Ridley. I mean, that you already had great receivers, but getting Pickens in your flex, and then Calvin Ridley, who, I mean, he's their guy with Cam Ward, and I did love Travion Henderson. He was another guy that I was looking at. I mean, from PPR, New England needs weapons for Drake May to throw to, and outside of Stephon Diggs, I mean, he's gonna get. I think he's gonna catch a lot of passes. So even if he doesn't get a ton of work rushing, I think he's gonna get a lot passing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I love that. I mean, with the keepers you had, Nathan. I mean, and then to get that sequence there with you got Henderson and they got Pickens and Ridley. I was like, wow, that's really good. And one I told you I was gonna say that I contemplated taking him at the end as well. I obviously went the Pitts route. But Brenton Strange, man, don't sleep on him because Lawrence likes to throw to the tight end, and that's if they take off and they are better, like everybody is hoping or thinking they're going to be. I think Strange actually could end up being a decent tight end. For fantasy.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that was a nice one.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I definitely wanted to with Strange as being my last pick. I thought he was a rookie. I'd never heard of the guy before. So I was like, oh, he's a rookie. And then y'all were like, no, he's been in the league for 3 years. I was like, oh, well, I didn't know that.
Well, he performed better than Evan Ingram, I think, last year.
And I think that's why they're giving him like, hey, this is your show now.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to say something. Oh, your J.K. Dobbins pick. When you picked him, I'm like, wait, who did I get? I got Warren from Pittsburgh. And I'm like, oh, that's who I should have picked. That was the thought when I saw J.K. Dobbins go. Like, dang it, I did that wrong. So, but so I just wanted to give you just that little nugget for you.
Well, thanks.
All right, moving on to Daryl.
Daryl.
RJ Harvey,
Rookies.
rookie central.
He's rookie.
How many rookies did he end up getting? Can we
1,
count real quick
2,
here? 1, 2,
3,
3,
4.
4.
Just
It was
4.
just a lot in the beginning. He just went
Yeah.
like crazy in
Yeah.
the beginning, and Daryl loves rookies, man. He will take them.
He kept Goff, Neighbors,
Amon Ra.
Amon Ra, and I want to say a running back.
No, it was a
Yeah,
quarterback, I thought.
No, Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Goff was a surprise save, but I can't remember who he threw back.
Taylor.
Jonathan. Yeah. What the heck?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Dwayne kind of spilled the beans and told me that like a week ago or a week before the draft, and I was like, "What?" Or before the keepers came out, he told me, and I was like, "That's crazy."
You couldn't pry Taylor out of his grasp before.
For the longest time, I know.
Yeah.
But here's Daryl.
I'm
Once a
so
guy
surprised.
sours on him and doesn't
Yeah.
perform, man, he's done.
That
He's
is true too. Yeah, it's like either Daryl is like, you're never getting this guy ever, and then when he sours, it's like, I can't get rid of him fast enough.
Yeah, he's like, good luck with him. He sucks.
At least you know where Daryl stands on his team, you know?
Yeah. No, honestly,
That's why there's so many rookies, right? Like they haven't burned him yet.
Right. No, I love RJ Harvey and Josh Jacobs being his starting 2 running backs. I think that's actually will benefit him. I really like Jaden Blue also coming in there because his only competition is Javonte Williams, and we know who Javonte Williams is.
Yeah.
Cam Scatabo, whatever you say his name. I mean, he's got some potential at running back, no doubt. And with his wide receivers he already has, I mean, he other than McMillan, McMillan's out for a little while now that he's hurt, but I mean, Daryl's actually got a decent team. I'm not gonna hate on him.
I am. He took Travis Hunter.
Oh yeah, I didn't even talk about Hunter. That's another great pick.
Yeah. Yeah, his receivers. I mean, yeah, he's and I mean Daryl. I mean, look where he was drafting. Daryl, I think, was his best finish that he's had with our in Tuna Land. So I mean, he was in the playoffs. He was a playoff team. So
right.
I wanted to get your all's opinion on CJ Stroud. Last year, I knew that CJ Stroud was going to suck. I thought his rookie year was a fluke, and then last year he did not succeed. I don't think they did anything to help him as far as offensive line for this year. How do you guys?
They added a couple guys because I was reading something about Nico. They added a couple guys to the line, but I don't think they're anybody that's supposed to be like a major game changer. I think it's just to shore it up a little bit. So I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel like last year was a sophomore slump more so than it is CJ's lack of talent. I think CJ is talented. I think he'll bounce back, but he was bad last year.
Yeah. I mean, Jaden Daniels is kind of in the same sophomore season, right? But
yeah,
I'm hoping there's no slump. Although McLaurin doing what he's doing right now scares me a little bit, but I'm riding. I'm still riding.
I think the only way CJ Stroud. I mean, here's the positive outlook with CJ Stroud is I think with their running back situation being a mess, I mean, maybe Stroud just has to throw the ball so much because they don't have a running game. Mm-hmm. And so maybe that's the way he, maybe gets back. But it is going to be tough. Outside of Nico is going to be fine. But outside of Nico, it's kind of like who's that other guy that he can throw to and step up,
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Yeah. Well, in all transparency, I did pick up that that rookie wide receiver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So maybe that's a guy that fills in. I don't know.
Yeah. But, great job, Daryl. Great job.
Daryl. Dangerous.
All right. Coach.
Bruce.
Picked up Garrett Wilson with the 11th pick. I thought that was an appropriate pick.
Yeah.
I think that
he had to think about that one. If you look at the time, he was thinking about that one. So he obviously was, maybe there were some guys he was looking at that went before, or maybe he was torn. So that was
DK went just after him. So maybe it was between the two of those.
That's
Could
true.
be.
That's
And
true.
just to remind you guys, he kept Lamar Jackson, Chase Brown, Kenneth Walker, and Drake London.
Not a bad
So,
start. Not a bad
I mean,
4.
I might go as far as to say that this may be the most common sense draft that we've had in a long time, outside of a couple outliers and a couple rounds. Like everybody has a team that like I can look at and be like, yeah, I could see them making a run. Like, here's the starting roster I'm looking at right now: Lamar Jackson, Chase Brown, Kenneth Walker, Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Sam Laporta, Jacoby Myers, Packers defense. He's got, I mean, like
Everybody's got a
Bruce,
shot.
yeah, Bruce has got a good team. I mean, like
Yeah.
just from top to bottom. I mean, if those guys pop off, I mean, obviously everybody cannot work out, but
Yeah,
yeah.
Tony Pollard was when I was picking Pacheco. If it wasn't Isaiah Pacheco, it was going to be Tony Pollard.
Yeah,
So
that was
good.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. I think everything you said is great. And then he got Caleb Williams as a backup. I can't hate that at all. Like that's a great backup.
Ray Davis is another great pick. I mean, for Buffalo, James Cook. Sometimes if he doesn't perform or just whatever, even though they paid him a ton of money.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp could also be a sneaky good one. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well,
Keon Coleman.
Yeah, now with the Bucks injuries, Kate Otten might become a thing again like he did last year. So,
right.
I mean,
especially those first 5 or 6 weeks. I mean, he could just explode. So, I mean,
no, that's good.
Yeah. Bruce drafted smart. I like it.
Bruce.
All right. And then the champ. Hey, champ twice. Champ twice. Eagles won and he won. So give him his
it was best year of football in his life.
Started out with DK Metcalf as his first pick. I like it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good pick.
Remind us of his keepers again, Richard.
Yep. His keepers were Jalen Hurts, no surprise.
Saquon,
no surprise. James Conner and T. Higgins.
I mean, solid.
Yeah.
All those guys that redrafted for him last year.
Well, not Hurts. And
not Hurts. You're right.
Not Hurts and Barkley. He had those are these keepers last year.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, if you look at, I guess as right now to start the year, he's going to have Rice for how many games? So I mean, with Rice, Metcalf, and Higgins, that'd be lethal to start. We'll see what happens with Rice. I have no idea what's going to happen with that, but
Well, he has Eckler in his flex right now, which is interesting. Eckler, man, I wanted Eckler. I kind of did. I thought it was going to be a sneaky running back option because what's happened with have you heard about the trade rumors with Brian Robinson Jr.?
Oh yeah, I've heard.
Yeah.
So I thought, man, if that Eckler might be a sneaky ad, but he went in the 6th round, which is not where I was planning to take him. So
I agree. Yeah, I didn't think he was going to go quite that soon.
No, I didn't either.
But if you look at, I guess he had Rice last year. He had Jordan Addison last year. But what's
run it back?
Well, run it back, and also, it could really work out for him because Addison's suspended for the first 3 games, and then he's back, so he could have Rice to start, and then just throw an Addison, and
it was gonna be Eckler or J.K. Dobbins for me because that was right before I drafted before him, and I was looking at those two, and obviously went J.K. But no, I think Eckler for what Washington wants to do, a dump off guy, a 3rd down back. For PPR, definitely serviceable.
Yeah.
So, Zach Ertz was another great.
That was, if you guys remember, that was John Mack's championship hero, where he had the 2 touchdowns to finish off the season. And
he's basically said run it back, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Well, what's interesting for John Mack was he didn't now obviously Johnny Mack was kind of in and out, but he's typically going heavy running back, and he didn't really go heavy running back this year compared to past years.
Yeah.
So I would just note that was a little bit different than what he's typically done. But like we said earlier, the running backs got ugly pretty quick.
Yeah,
I like
it did.
his Kyler Murray pick for the QB. In the sense of like maybe not where he picked him, but that he picked Kyler Murray. Only because Hurts is Eagles bye week is week 5, and that's before potentially Murray gets hurt. So that's the only reason.
Richard, you know who made that pick for him?
Oh,
the Q. The Q made that pick for John Mack.
You're right. Well, it was still too early. I mean, he had to have had Kyler Murray queued.
That's probably where he would have taken a running back because he wasn't obviously making the pick. So
yeah,
maybe. Well, who went around him?
Let me see. What round was that? 3?
You're right.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, the end of round 3.
You're right.
Yeah.
So who went after the
and then the Ravens got auto queued as well. So 2 back-to-back. So 3rd and 4th round, he would have probably drafted different.
Javonte Williams, Judkins, Charbonnet, Jordan Mason. I mean, running back availability wasn't really that exciting. Jalen Wright, Stevenson, Warren, Dobbins. I mean, now I'm in the 6th round. So, I mean, it's not like he missed out on much.
No.
From a running back perspective.
Maybe it worked out well. And again, like we've talked in all the years past, like when you're the defending champion and you're picking last in every round, it's tough sledding. I mean, you're not gonna have like a great bench, and positions are gonna get thin quick.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying, like once week 6 comes, he doesn't need Murray anymore. So it's kind of like a early QB, bye week replacement. It's kind of makes sense to me.
Well, if Murray, if Murray gets off to a hot start, he's got hurt, so he could maybe have a trade.
Was Murray like in the top of the list for CBS, or did
he's ranked number 8. If you scroll over, he's ranked as the number 8.
But I'm talking about like as far as like the ADP or the rank overall. Like, you know what I mean? When it's auto drafts, was he in the queue, or was it auto draft the top, the best
auto draft on the top
player?
It was auto draft on the top.
Okay, well maybe CBS helped him out a little bit then.
Yeah, because Baker and then Mahomes went, and he's at number 8 on there, so he was the next up.
Yeah, I got you. Okay,
so, I believe.
I'm giving a lot of credit for something he didn't do, but I like it.
John Mack will take it. He'll take it.
I mean, he could have gotten another wide receiver, I guess, but I mean, he already had 3 or 4 or 5 of them, or 3 or 4 of them, excuse me. Yeah. So
I know Addison's suspended, but I think the overall long term that'll be a good pickup for him.
Yeah.
As long as
he's suspended for 4 games right now, or 3 games.
I think it's 3.
3.
But it's under review repeal.
No, I think it's done. I think it's done.
Yeah, I think it's locked in.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
have to see what that QB does. That JJ McCarthy does.
Yeah. Hopefully, great things.
We'll see.
We've been going for how long now? Where's the timer?
Hour and 15 almost.
Hour and 15 minutes. We can. I'd say if we can get together before the beginning of the season, maybe we can go over the look at the teams and kind of make our predictions of divisions and the overall winner. I think let's save that for another time for sure. But for the draft, I think we all agree that everybody kind of made sense and had a decent shot. So we got to do our homework this year and can't just pencil it or pin in people quickly.
The draft is only the beginning.
Only the beginning, boys.
Right.
All I ask is that people are open to trading and will communicate when asked to trade. That's my one request. I will keep.
strange.
I will.
I do. Hey, gentlemen, I do because we did. I know we'll do another before the season starts, but sorry. What do you guys think? Do you where do you think Brian Robinson Jr. ends up?
Ooh.
Because that could wreck some fantasy players.
Hmm.
Well, what?
Let's
would,
see.
Here's my question: What would Washington want in return? That's the question.
I don't think they're going to get a lot draft capital. I mean, he's not
Do
a
you think
top
they want?
tier.
Do you think they want draft capital only, or do you think they want a player?
Hmm.
I have an idea, and it's a little homery, but I think it could be Jags.
I don't think that's outside the realm of possibility.
And Gladstone likes making a deal. I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if you've watched him talk. He loves being a GM. I could see him wanting to do kind of big splashes type of deal.
Maybe
Wow,
the Jets
I mean,
make a
man-
trade, get rid of Brees.
Oh,
They swap
That-
running backs.
that would be.
That'd be interesting.
They
Yeah,
both
it is.
want to get out. I mean, I don't think Brees is happy. I don't know.
Oh my gosh! If
But he wants to get. He
if
wants to get
Brees
paid.
moved
Though.
into a better position, that would be the steal of the draft. Or
Right?
no, because he was a keep.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
right.
Yeah.
It'd still be. It'd be so
That's
much better for
interesting.
him.
That's an interesting thought. I mean, now obviously the Cowboys would be an obvious one with their running backs. You know, just nothing great, but
The Cowboys, they got to trade away their best defensive player too.
yeah.
Maybe that's
Yeah.
maybe that's it.
Well, I mean, they were. The one report I read was like, you know, well, they might even cut Brian Robinson Jr. I was like, man, like
Yeah,
things
I saw
really got
that too.
bad. You know, I was
Cutting
like,
it was crazy.
Toxic.
yeah. So I don't know. I just wanted to get your thoughts. I didn't know if you thought maybe there was where he might.
No,
end
I'm
up.
trying to think. I'm trying to think of places that need running back help that don't really have like somebody that's the lead dog.
Browns.
Kinda, but they have. I mean, they have Quinshon
Jags.
Jenkins.
I think
unless they just-
Jags potentially.
the Jags are. Yeah, that's a good possibility.
Well, Cowboys,
Giants.
Cowboys could be a possibility. They, you know,
Giants. Right?
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They've drafted running backs back to back years. I don't know if they really need to,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, I don't know. You have to think about and it could be a surprise team because if there's a team that just wants depth, that's why I
Right.
said wreck a fantasy player where it's just like, oh well, we're just gonna throw in like what?
Yeah.
What about the Bears? Who do the Bears have? They have Swift and somebody
Swift.
else, right?
Yeah, the Bears could be one.
Yeah, they definitely could be one.
Yeah, Roshan hasn't really lived up to really doing much, but
Yeah.
With the Miami backs, both of them are hurt, right?
Oh yeah.
well,
Miami.
That's true. Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Running backs go to die.
So when Devon Achane can catch a million passes, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding.
With that.
No kidding.
Stay healthy, Devon. Stay healthy.
Please.
Listen, I feel like I'm just going to say this out. This is a general NFL thing. I feel like the Miami Dolphins are like a ticking time bomb where they could just implode and be like the worst team this year. I really feel like that.
Yeah. I think a couple years ago I was like, wow, the Dolphins are really turning the corner. But last year and not going into this year, like the momentum's just kind of like, we got all these guys that get hurt all the time, and yeah, I don't know.
I don't have a good feeling about the Dolphins this year.
No.
No.
Okay, sorry, I made us go long. Sorry, Tuna.
That's
Bites.
okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
You're good.
All right. Well, until next time, I think we'll call it here. Tuna
Yep.
Bites.
Go to bed, Nathan. It's past your bedtime.
Yeah,
Have a
I've
good
yawned
night.
like
I've been-
20 times.
I've been yawning this entire time. I gotta be honest. All right.
I had
a
to
good
drink
night, guys.
coffee before. See you guys.